what's up, guys? This is Dwight here with Retro Crypto YouTube channel. We're waiting for Mr. Jack Levin to join us. Up there he is. 1 second, guys. Let me get him in here. That stream. Oh, there he is.
How's it going?
Hey, I was getting a little nervous.
Sorry about that. It's the island time.
Oh, yes.
Nobody's on time on the islands.
What's the temperature there right now?
The temperature, let's take a look. It's 81 degrees.
81 degrees? Awesome. It
That's right.
is roughly 10 degrees outside right now on the East Coast.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Ouch.
it's very windy.
Yeah, all my friends on the mainland, they're jealous and they're suffering.
Yeah. All right, let me pull this up here, get this all set up. All right, let me make a little change here to the screen. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I've done a live stream with a friend of mine, but I haven't done one as important as this.
Just think of it as a Zoom call.
Okay, we could do that. There we go. We're zooming.
Hey,
I
how's it
had
going?
2 monitors, and I was looking at you with this one, but yeah, you know the routine.
Yeah. Very good to see you. I saw your tweets, so I appreciate all the tweets you have done
Yeah.
in the ecosystem, and obviously you know a little bit about Zen.
Yeah.
So that's great.
I don't know a ton. I would consider myself a pleb. I'm just an ordinary guy with a passion for crypto.
I don't like that word. I think that
But
word is
I know. I looked up the definition of the word because the person I heard it from first was Richard Hart, and you're right. It is a bad word. But then
yeah.
I
It's
was like, I'll just start using it.
you know what they say. We're all equal. Just some of us are more equal than others.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No. Yeah. Yeah. Because when he calls me a pleb, I did look it up. I don't know why I started using it. Got a habit of
well,
beating myself up.
it's the community, it rubs off on people. But I
Yeah.
think calling people with definitions or any sort of names or types is not right. I
Yeah.
think everybody is a person, and we shouldn't really divide people into know-it-alls versus not know-it-alls, or plebs or
Yeah.
whoever. I mean, we're all you know what they say, wag me, right? Or swag me, wag me. We're all
No.
gonna make it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
WAGNI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wag me. Wag me is a good all encompassing word.
Yeah.
So
I'm more of a fake it till you make it kind of guy.
faking's good because it gives you this sort of a practice,
Yeah.
and gives you this practice of self-confidence.
Yeah.
And if you positive with yourself, you will just end up ultimately believing that you can actually get things done.
Very true.
And acceptance of the world comes first with your own personal acceptance. So you cannot have the world accept you if you cannot accept yourself.
Yes, you do have to definitely love yourself. That's for sure. And
Yeah.
then some people end up loving themselves too much.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's no limit to what people can do with themselves, right? So
Yeah. Let me remove this here because when I move my screens around, there's a couple things I wanted to show. But before I do that, I just want to talk to you about you kind of answer the same questions over and over again. So I'm trying to avoid making you do that. I know that's got to get frustrating. But the fact that you were the 21st employee with Google, well, I seen you in a different stream if there has been some contention if you were 21st or 22nd, but one of the originals. It was pretty exciting. Like my daughters, they usually blow off the fact that anything to do with crypto, they're sick of hearing it from me, tell you the truth, along with everybody that knows me. And when I explained who you were, that you were the 21st employee with Google, you plugged in the cable cord, the patch cable for Gmail. It was,
the proverbial cord,
what is it?
proverbial Ethernet cord, the one that
Okay.
connects everything.
Okay. Oh, I got what you're saying. Yes, I understand. I do. I was actually thinking like a patch panel, like literally plug it into a patch panel.
I done that too,
Okay.
many times, and there was no one else to do it, so I had to do it.
Awesome. Awesome. So I guess for the viewers, I have some viewers that don't really know anything about Zen or you really. So kind of just wanted to run down your history very briefly and where Zen is going, your vision for Zen. I have some questions for you I wanted to go over and all that.
Did you see the new video that I just posted on Twitter? Did you see it?
Was that one from
It was like
Binance?
It was like 5 minutes ago.
Binance,
No,
maybe?
no.
No.
It was like 5-10 minutes ago. Yeah, we should play it on the screen.
All right, let me see if I can do this here.
That's kind of summarizes what I am and Zen is all about in just 15 seconds.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, go to my Twitter. It's the one where I say I'm excited.
Okay, share screen. There we go.
Yeah, make sure the music's on.
Right here?
Yeah, that's the one. Get the music going too, because the music is like 80% of the impact.
You hear it?
I can't hear it. It's it looks like it's not on. I mean, if you look at the volume there.
Let's see here. Yeah, I got the volume all the way up. I'm sharing the screen. Well, what I could do, I'll just turn my mic around, I guess. It'll be a little bit of echo.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
And also you can maximize it too, by the way. I see it, can't hear it.
I hope they should be able to hear it.
Yeah, it's a really good beat, but it's like an intro. It's too bad we can't hear it. Actually, hold on. I know what we can do.
Okay.
I know what we can do. It's gonna work right now. Okay, listen to this. So go to the start of the video.
Uh-huh.
All the way, and I'll tell you. I'll go 3, 2, 1, start.
Okay.
Okay, 1 sec. 3, 2. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's what my team is doing every time we take a break.
All right, there we go. Well, that would lead into some of my questions too, actually. Let's see. Well, actually, before we do that, the biggest question I had is why is the Hex community so anti Zen? I never really quite understood that.
The Hex community is anti-Zen? I don't
Yeah,
believe it.
a lot. They're pretty vicious.
No,
Some,
that's not true. Everyone loves Zen, and
well, I'm a
they
Hexican.
love me.
I'm a Hexican at heart.
Sure.
I started because Trayvon James actually introduced me to Hex, and he actually introduced me to you also, which is great.
Okay.
The Zen project, but some Hexicans, I mean, they're pretty like they're vicious. They won't even give it a chance. Just like with blinders on, I can't figure out why.
Yeah, that's a mystery.
Yeah. So it's just weird to me. I've been trying to figure out because if the two communities could merge, it would be even more powerful. But
Well,
instead,
I think the crypto world is pretty small. We should all
yeah,
be more loving and accepting
yeah,
of each other.
it is pretty vicious. It's very it's like clicky, like high school.
I think part of it is perhaps the attention. You know, when a new cute girl shows up in high school, all the other girls hate her,
Yeah,
right? So it could be that.
yeah, definitely. That's definitely what it feels like. So every time something good comes along, everybody hates it, and then even because like when I watched the Hexicans, I remember Hex was being put down. Richard Hart had a hard way to go initially, and during the bull market, he got some acceptance. But then for them to turn around and do the exact same thing to another project, just always confused me.
Well, I think maybe one of the technical reasons is that people were worried that the prices of gas going to be permanently high,
Okay.
but and that's because the end stake for Hex is so expensive because of the design. It costs a lot of gas to do it. So whenever the GUI is too high, the end stake will be very expensive. However, we're at 16, actually 13 GUI right now, and it's barely a weekend.
Yeah. Actually,
So it was 150, 200 GUI last year, same
yeah.
time.
Right now it's 12 Gwei right now. Yeah, it's 12 Gwei on
Yeah.
its right now. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
so I don't know what people are
very
crying
fair.
about. The gas is really not that big of a deal at this point.
Well,
So
it was like a big deal on the day of the launch, 76 days ago, but it's that happens with any big NFT projects. Happened many of times, and I just don't understand why so many people focused on Zen. Oh, you're going to run it up forever. It was just that. Speaking of that, with the Zen NFT, do you think that's going to happen again? With the
I think it might.
yeah,
But uh, Ethereum's gas is so sensitive. Anytime there's anything new and exciting comes up, gas reacts to the upside in the short term.
okay,
So, and that's true for everything. So,
yeah. Will Zen be launched on Pulse Chain also?
if Pulse Chain copies it, because wasn't it supposed to be a state copy of Ethereum? So it should just copy
Yes.
everything.
He said he was going to. I remember Richard Hart saying he was going to exclude some projects, but these were like predatorial projects, shady.
Yeah. Well, I would say that given that he is the founder and the owner of the project, I would certainly not go against his wishes. So
Yeah,
whatever he wants.
I foresee him doing it. Here's another one for you. How about Cardano? Is there any plans for you guys launching on Cardano?
So Cardano is interesting, and they have a very vibrant community. The only problem is that the Ethereum world is so large. We're just having too much fun in Ethereum right now, and one of the reasons to focus on Ethereum is, well, the code is the same everywhere on all of those EVM compatible chains, and we're just barely scratched the surface as far as what's possible with Zen. So we really want to focus on uh, the ecosystem that's has a lot of developers. But I think Cardano is definitely possible in the future.
Yeah, because one of the things that worries me about Ethereum is once the bull market does kick in. So like right now, I think what is that, like 438 days, I believe, you could mint out to, and maybe 437. But my fear is when the bull market kicks in, the is I don't know, the GUI I think is going to skyrocket. It's going to be a bit expensive on Ethereum. I mean, on Ethereum, and I'm
Well, it's going to be awesome for the Zen holders because if you minted Zen cheaply and now nobody else can mint Zen because it's so expensive,
very true.
then it's like you bought the gas uh, cheaper and now the gas is higher and your Zen is higher too.
Yeah, yeah. Because I can remember the previous bull market. It was a couple times I tried to do something, and it was like $400 transaction fee.
Yeah, that was unacceptably high. But hey, I
Yeah,
mean, there's Binance. People
yeah,
can go on Binance and pay like 15 cents.
very true. Will they be able to bridge it?
It's already bridged. It's
Okay.
just a matter of liquidity. So if when the liquidity comes up, the it's not really the bridging the way that it works. The layer zero protocol from Stargate connects
Mhm.
most of the popular chains, and it runs on the Uniswap. It runs on SushiSwap actually.
Okay.
And once the SushiSwap the liquidity pools get better, you will be able to swap your BZen for Zen and MZen for Zen and vice versa
Okay.
without slippage. Right now, there will be a lot of slippage.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm. Now with the that kind of, yeah, that does answer my question there, actually. It was a big question. It was more like one of my fears because I've been every time, because what I did initially with the initial launch, because I was like everybody else, I thought that I was going to be like number 49, and as it was waiting for Uniswap to run through with the transaction, not Uniswap, but for the transaction to run through on Ethereum. And then when it failed, I was like, and I went to go back in. I think I got in like 30,000, 25,000, but it had ran up to like, it was like towards $40, $50. So I
Yeah.
decided to wait.
Yeah,
And then,
that's what was my first transaction too. I think I paid like $40, and I think it was 3,000 C rank.
okay. Yeah. And then I just decided to do I think I set it up. I did like 60 wallets and first 7 days and then every other day. And now I wish I just had a time machine, because if I had a time machine, I would have just maxed everything out. But I'm sure a lot of guys think the same way.
Well, you can say that about any asset that's moves up and down. I mean, if you had a time machine, you wouldn't even have to
Yeah.
do
Like you
much
with
of the
Bitcoin.
things. I mean, you wouldn't even have to be in the market. You can just be winning lottery numbers.
How many Bitcoins did you give away? Do you remember roughly?
All of
Random.
it. All of it.
Jeez. And you were in when it was you were mining them when they were at like $1 to $3.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that is, oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. I was mining for 3 years, and I was making 2 to 3 bitcoins per day.
Jeez. How long were you making them? 2 to 3 a day.
For about 3 years. So
Right now, everybody watching is their head just dropped. Like, jeez, that's like a dream.
I mean, back then it wasn't a dream. It was just like, waste of electricity, really. And I
Yeah,
thought that maybe I can use Bitcoin to pay for my electricity bills. So, I mean, we didn't know that cryptocurrency is going to rise up so much.
yeah,
So, but things are so much better now. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. It's crazy.
yeah. I love it now when people come to me at work and they'll make a comment like, "What can you do with it? Well, can you do this? Can you do that?" It used to be no, not really, but now it's yes, yes, yes. It's a lot of yeses, and I get frustrated when people talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, anything, and they talk like there isn't any true use for it. It's all speculative. But I disagree at this point. I don't really feel that way anymore. I think it's definitely becoming interwoven into the economic system
Yeah.
slowly, slowly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably
It's,
it's
it's
probably on a
going to
level
happen.
of like junk bonds now, where it's a risk. It's a high risk, but it deserves this respect, definitely.
Sure.
Um, question for let's see again. I had some really good questions I was trying to come up with. This is like very brand new to me. Uh, oh yeah, I had this question. The Fair Crypto Foundation, is that associated with Zen Turbo at all, or is it two separate entities?
So Zen Turbo is a crypto cell group. It's the Asian group.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say that we're completely not associated. We're definitely talking and we're doing things together. We did some AMAs, um, and we'll probably be doing more code development together in the future. But I'm just very thankful for them to come up with those amazing stats that we're seeing on the screen right now. By the way, dashboard is even better looking than Mint Monitor. So if you click on dashboard,
Oh, I
uh,
absolutely love it.
yeah, it gives you things like heartbeat and just everything's just so in your face.
Mhm.
So you get to make more intelligent decisions once you look at the data like that.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the liquidity supply once the burn kicks in for the Zen NFTs?
I think it will burn it all.
Burn it all? Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna disappear.
Wow.
That's my prediction. I have no idea what will happen, but I think it will. A big number of Zen is actually going to get burned.
Now, I know you really can't make this prediction because it would be foolish to, but would it be safe to expect there would be significant price response to that,
Uh,
or valuation? Mm,
well, what happens to the price when you can buy something? It becomes more scarce, right? So
mhm.
anything that's scarce generally should have price pressure, upward price pressure.
Okay.
So I mean, it's kind of like 2 + 2 = 4 type of thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And by the way, like remember when FTX news came out and
Mm-hmm.
everybody panicked and started selling their FTT tokens and drove Ethereum gas super high?
Mm-hmm.
Zen actually rallied where everything else fell, and that's because nobody could be minting Zen at 200 Gwei. So the price correlation or value correlation of Zen to gas is actually uh, can be observed.
Actually, I did remember when that happened because, and then I was thankful for the 7 day gap where you could claim because I was like, I think I'll wait. I remember there was a few days I just let things
Yeah,
calm down.
yeah, that was an interesting situation. It was definitely interesting to see because all of the mints just stopped for about 24 hours.
Yeah, I was one of them. I was, yeah.
Mhm.
I was
I
like,
mean, like, well, how would one to mint 30 times, spending 30 times more money on gas? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, like on the weekend, you pay $2.60 for a wallet. All of a sudden, you're paying, well, let's say times three times like $75 per wallet. Like, why would you do that? It's crazy.
yeah. Now one of the things I was thinking about doing recently, I was kind of waiting to for this because I was getting impatient. I've become impatient. I was like, you know what? I had X amount of dollars I want to invest, and I was going to mint a bunch of wallets or batch mint them on with Cool Tool, yeah, Cool Tool. But then I'm like, well, maybe I should wait for the Zen NFTs because that's only like a week out. So, kind of wanted your opinion on that. Would you just go ahead and batch mint the Zen now, or should a guy like me just go ahead and wait a week for the Zen NFTs?
So it's really depends on your risk tolerance. So we just don't know what the future will bring, but
Yeah,
we do know. I mean, like thinking about the gas price potentially increasing and mint stopping, which is bullish for Zen. Potentially, you could mint some preemptively, just to lock in the cheap gas. Like right now, we have 12 Gwei
yeah.
coming in, so it's very low. And based on the impact of the release, things could get really hot.
Yeah. That's 11. Yeah,
Yeah, don't they say like how many dollars you need to spend like on that dashboard
right
to
here.
mint?
Yep, yep. So to mint it, it would be $2.63, and
Yeah,
then to claim it, it would be a
is
dollar 51.
right, right.
So for $4.15, and I don't think at this point my original mints are coming in at roughly like 55 million roughly right now. If for my original ones, so it's like $17. So really, it's
So
no
so
brainer.
so I would say no matter what you do with these NFTs, even if you don't participate and other people's do, that should you should be happy with holding Zen just because it's being used, it's being burned to mint new NFTs. So even if you're not participating, you will be participating in the economy. So so that's why like I feel there should be no FOMO when it comes to the NFTs. There's plenty of time. And by the way, to mint the whole set of NFTs we have, the apex category of 10,000, you need about 15.5 trillion Zen, and there isn't that much Zen available on the as the total supply. It's only about 2 trillion right now.
Okay.
So you can't physically make more, and therefore uh, NFTs end up being fair in terms of getting them. So it's not like some a collusion of whales could organize themselves to buy them all at the same time. That's just going to be impossible.
So there's no risk of like the collector level, which that would be me at the very bottom.
Well, collector level does not require any burn,
Okay.
so it's like a bulk minter. The limited one does require burn, but it isn't a lot. I think it's like 10 million. But I'm talking about the top category, the
Yeah,
apex.
yeah, the
Apex.
unicorn.
Yeah, yeah. So even that one, if that one existed by itself, there would still not be enough Zen to issue all of them.
Okay.
So which means that you have plenty of time to to get one in that category.
Okay. So as I'm watching everybody rush in, hopefully a week from now, I'll just sit back and wait.
Well, I would say the best advice that I would give is just like if you see gas wars, do not ape in and pay 200 guay. It just doesn't make any sense to do it.
Okay.
Like let the whole queue of people clear out, and then you can consider getting some.
What would you consider? I guess this. I guess you can't really predict. This is kind of a future question, but what would you consider a fair transaction fee once everything goes live? If say there was an initial rush, what would you consider a fair entry point? Like for me, back in October, I think it was. I think I started buying like $8, $7 transaction fees.
So the Apex category requires you to specify 100 VMUs, which is equivalent of 100 wallets. So if your cost per wallet was $8,
Hmm.
that means you need to pay 800
Okay.
or close to that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and if you do decide to get in, then my recommendation is make sure to specify the time duration to be the maximal, like 435 days at least.
Yes, I'm so 100%. I've been maxing everything out to the maximum.
Yeah,
Uh, that
yeah,
was a
because what happens is you're locking in all of the amplifiers early. So AMP is the highest, so you make the most per day. Then you have the early adapter amplifier, which is no longer 10%, but it's still there. And those are important to carry for as long as of a time duration as possible. Just because anybody else who are coming later will have less and less and less mints per day locked in. So you want to lock them in early for the longest duration of time.
okay. Yeah, like I said before, I wish I kind of learned my lesson with Hex, where with the minting, well, not minting, staking with Hex of the just max. I didn't go 555 or anything. What's it 5555? But definitely makes a big difference the further out you push it. Um, the delayed gratification mentality, and Zen kind of does follow that. It's very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, it's kind of common everywhere, even Bitcoin too. So Bitcoin, you can buy it for $1 and wait for a long, long time, and it's going to be times 60,000.
Yeah. Or you can mint it for $1.
Yeah, well, it's basically it was a free mint.
It had to be awesome. I actually built two mining machines because I learned about. Actually, I heard about Bitcoin when it was around $300, and I played around with it on a Sunday. I remember I played around with it on a Sunday, trying to figure things out. The information was limited, and it was slightly difficult. It was a learning curve, and I threw the towel in. I only spent like 2 hours. And in December 19th, 2017, a friend of mine walked into the office and he said, hey, you heard about this Bitcoin? It's going for almost 20,000 or something. I was like, what? And it began that day. I went home and I remember saying to him, you didn't have no idea what you started. And I went home and I remember my first purchase. I had no idea what I was doing. And I went to Coinbase and I spent 200 on no, I spent $600. I bought 200 Bitcoin Cash, and I can't remember the third one. And it all started that day at the highest point ever.
Yeah,
And I rode that wave all the way down,
crazy times.
and then I rode it all the way up, and it was beautiful. But I failed to take my profits, and that's on me. And the greed got the best of me.
Yeah, yeah. There's a fine dance between fear and greed,
Yeah,
always pulling each other apart or
yeah.
tagging at each other.
It felt really good for a while though. I was on top of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was. Oh, I'm sorry. But I had actually built two mining machines around 2018 when the GPU cards were super expensive. You couldn't find them anywhere, and I had built two mining machines. That was fun. I basically broke even. I learned a whole lot doing that.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, put out a lot of heat. That's about the most I got out of it. I broke even, but it did heat the room. I learned that too.
Right, right. So you didn't have to turn on your heater.
Yeah, it didn't work out well during the summertime though. Kind of, yeah. Like I said, I learned a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a fun experience. I mean,
Yeah,
making something out of nothing is definitely interesting.
yeah. That's the cool part, actually. Just literally making something out of nothing. That's the best way to describe it. A lot of people don't understand that concept. That's actually what people still say, like, "Well, cryptocurrency, what is it? It's not backed by anything." Then I use the normal argument, well, what's the US dollar backed by? It's a fiat currency. Then I pull up the debt calendar, and then I'm like, okay, so there are 20 something trillion in debt. So what's backing the dollar?
Yeah,
Is debt backing the dollar technically? And it usually
yeah,
goes downhill from there.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Hey, hey, we have a question from Mac. I think he gave you a super chat.
Oh,
Uh,
awesome.
10, 10, 10 he gave you $10.
Let's see.
Maybe you bring it to the screen so we can address it.
Let me see how I can do this. Show. There we go.
No,
All right.
not that one. The one higher.
Higher.
Just scroll
Scroll
higher.
up. There we go. Boom. All right.
Yeah, yeah, that one. So he's asking the idea of borrowing Zen's value in order to mint upon the terms and date, considering gas will later be expensive for a lot of people. So if gas is expensive for a lot of people, that actually means that Zen is also expensive. Kind of makes sense. And I think we definitely have some ideas how to have some DeFi protocols that will allow you to borrow against your future mint so that you can pay for gas and then you pay back with Zen. So that's definitely possible and could work. But at the same time, I would say if you stagger your mints, like not have all of them in on the same date, then you can actually catch the days when the gas is really low. And holding Zen right there will allow you to pay for the future minting of Zen with the Zen that you have minted before when the gas was cheap. So, in absence of any sort of project that supports fund gas borrowing from the future mint, then that's one viable idea. But certainly with XeNFTs, what we were thinking of doing, and that's the future, is you will be able to mint your XeNFT, and then it has the future yield or future mint of Zen. You should be able to stake that XeNFT and borrow a portion of your future Zen so that you can actually do things with it. And then you have to repay it and get your collateral back. In this case, collateral is your NFT. So you see what I mean? So your collateral is NFT. It guarantees to mint more Zen, but let's say it's coming due in 100 days. But you want to get Zen now because it's rallying. And so what you can do, or would be able to do, is to stake the NFT you own, borrow 30%, and potentially sell it. And by selling it for a stable coin or Ethereum, you could technically lock in the gains. But then you have to repay back with Zen that you borrowed to get your collateral back. Or if Zen's price crashes, then that XeNFTs actually become somewhat worthless. But you already sold the borrowed Zen. So you may as well just leave it there in the contract or in the protocol. Somebody else will buy it.
Now, where would this take place at? Because this wouldn't be on OpenSea,
No, that would be like a DeFi protocol.
like a
So
DeFi
like
protocol.
something like similar to MakerDAO. So
Yes.
MakerDAO
Hmm.
has the concept of putting your ETH as collateral and borrowing against ETH.
Hmm.
Even Bitcoin. So wrap Bitcoin, you can borrow ETH against it. So
That's
you should be able
actually
to,
huge.
borrow Zen against your assets.
That
Like
was
Zen.
that's a really good question, actually, because I could scratch off one of my questions I had was like, where do you see Zen going next after Zen NFT? So DeFi is the next step.
Well, DeFi for sure, but many other projects too. So many other economically viable projects.
Gaming, maybe. I,
Yeah.
was- I was
Well,
wondering that.
well, we're not game studio, but there are other game studios out there who could be tapping into Zen as
Okay.
the currency for their games.
Yeah, because I noticed you're really into the AI artwork, and I was kind of hoping there was something like a correlation between the two.
No, there's no correlation. I just wanted my Twitter to look better. That's all.
It is pretty cool though. It's extremely cool.
Yeah, yeah. I put that futuristic car with spaceships
Yeah,
as
put it
my
up there.
profile.
Uh,
So
there it
yeah,
is.
right there. So that one, I think I gave a prompt to create a futuristic car based on a BMW, and then have like people with helmets and space battle and mountains, that sort of thing.
How long does it take you to set something like that up?
Not long at all. In fact, I have a tutorial video
Wow.
that describes how the whole thing works.
I've been so curious. I didn't know that actually, because I heard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can like rent a rendering rig, for 25 cents an hour, and make all those pictures.
The world is changing quickly.
Yeah, but what's really cool is that you can have a whole story of all those pictures, and then you can have GPT write a story uh, for the pictures.
Hmm.
So you can publish an AI generated book on Amazon with like amazing story, and
Wow.
the illustrations too, that are really great.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see what else I got. Huh, we flew through a lot of my questions.
How
Uh,
many people do we have on the stream right now? I'm just
we got
curious.
about 47. That's
Oh,
really
okay,
good for me.
that's cool. That's cool.
Thanks to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's see. Getting any good questions here. I'll run backwards. Uh, I locked my Zen until next December. Was that a good move? I would say yes to that one. That was from Heskin American.
Yeah.
All right, Moon. As soon as the token becomes deflationary,
Uh, yeah, I mean, the
we kind of want inflation right now, don't we?
we do want inflation because we want them to be lending in as many hands as possible.
Yeah.
And by the way, like even when people sell Zen, somebody's buying, and those could be new users, so new community members, and they're probably buying cheap, or relatively speaking, 5 zeros and threes. Looks inexpensive.
I've been watching it relatively closely. I know you recommended not to do technical analysis on it and really worry about the price right now because it was supposed to fall to zero, which it has. Um, but
I mean,
it's
I
still
wish it
cheaper to mint.
started at I wish it started at zero. If it started at 17 zeros and one, that would have been like the best.
Okay. Huh.
But it didn't start like that because people are.
It shot up pretty quickly.
It didn't shut up. It opened up at $1.50. By the way, but that doesn't mean anything. That's like two guys or two people trading a token. Like somebody could say, "Hey, you want my Zen for $1.50?" Sure, that's cool.
Hey, it's capitalism.
I mean, and that makes the data point on the chart, and from there it's like, oh look, it's 99.9999% lower than $1.50. But what is this $1.50 anyway? Liquidity is non-existent, so
Well,
it's really like that. The whole chart is probably like completely inaccurate when it comes to economics.
I'm a fan of supply and demand. I'm a big proponent. It's like bad service somewhere or whatever. Take your business somewhere else. Yeah, let's show this here. These exchanges. I didn't even realize that Zen was on this many exchanges currently.
Yeah,
I knew it was picked up by one or two, but not this many.
that was not expected by us in any way because we never even talked to the exchanges before launch.
And then I saw this today just before I got on with you, which I thought was pretty big news. Oh, I lost it.
Oh, is that the
Binance.
is that the
Binance.
OKX?
I think it was Binance right here.
Oh, yeah, but they had it there for a while.
Oh, that was there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it almost a month ago, and they're just telling people how to buy popular cryptocurrencies,
Okay.
and there's a whole list in that article. So it's not
Okay.
just Zen; it's everything else too.
Yeah, Coinbase did something like that with Hex and had everybody excited about it, but
Did
it
you
was
see the OKX news though? It's
no.
something that I think I retweeted also. So if you look at my Twitter, you'll see it.
Let's see what we got here. I know very little about
Oh,
OKX.
it's right there, right there,
There
right
it
there.
is.
So check this out.
There it is.
So that's important news, actually.
Starting from December 26th, OKC will increase the amount of gas consumed by minting operation claim rank of Zen Crypto official contract and adjust the gas consumed. The upgrade will continuously optimize and improve. Wow. I actually need to get on OK. I've never used them for anything.
Yeah, I mean their website is pretty cool, and I think they're doing a good job with interchain swaps and exchanges. So that's pretty interesting. Their problem was that. Uh, oh, by the way, let's look at Zen.fyi. So if you type in Zen.fyi,
Yep.
have you ever been there?
No.
It's a pretty cool site. Yeah, check it out. It will show you all of the chains with all of the wallets. Now look at OKX chain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look how many wallets there are.
Should I click on it? Yeah.
92 million. You see that?
Yes.
And that's almost half. So if you go back and scroll to the bottom, there's a total. I can't see it from here, but can you tell me what the total is? It's above 200 million, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. 202,000,000 666,299.
Right, and 48% of all of them is on OKX chain.
I really need to do some research. That's the funny thing about crypto. It gets so deep. It never ends.
So the significance of that is their gas was extremely cheap, and people were minting Zen very, very hard. So whoever minted billions of Zen, or maybe trillions at this point, if they raise gas now, their Zen holdings probably should rally, because now it's going to be more expensive, right?
Wow.
So I'm really curious to see what will happen. So they're kind of doing almost a favor to the Zen minters that minted Zen cheap.
Yeah, I kind of wish I minted over there. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Now I didn't know that they were gonna do that. I would be minting there too.
Yeah, I did. I
It's so
did
crazy.
Binance. I did a test run. I did Binance. I ran the numbers, and I was like, "This guy's right on everything." So I'm just going to follow what he says. And I stuck with Ethereum. And yeah, okay, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, generally chains don't do that, but they have to do it just because of the such a dramatic relative activity to the other chains.
Is OKX centralized?
Some people say they are, and some people say maybe. Some people say no. I don't know too much about their internal politics to really come up with an assessment. However, given that they can make those changes, it kind of make me think that they have the authority over their chain.
Yeah, I know it's a debate. What's better, centralized, decentralized? I prefer decentralized, but
There's pluses and minuses. I mean, I prefer decentralized too, but sometimes something needs to be fixed, and there's no way to fix it if it's completely decentralized.
yeah,
So sometimes experiment. I mean, I would say like unless you're doing really, really plain vanilla chain EVM compatible and you really know what you're doing, definitely being decentralized is a way to go. But if you're doing experimental stuff, and if it's kind of like half mainnet, half testnet, and things are being tested, then I feel like you kind of have to have ability to roll things back if there is some hack or any sort of damaging activity happening. I mean, but you have to be upfront about it.
Yeah, then
Like
you
you have to tell people, is it like, am I really controlling the chain, or like, no, it's everything's decentralized, but you're actually lying. So
like it would be like Ethereum Classic when they made that choice, or Luna Classic.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Alright. Uh, Now a friend of mine, he had brought up something earlier. I don't really know too much about it. It's a compliancy. I believe it's ISO. Are you familiar with that? ISO 20022. It's
yeah,
like some kind of compliancy. Are you familiar with that?
yeah.
Does Zen fall in line with that compliancy at all?
I think it's above and beyond the compliance.
Above and beyond? All
Yeah,
right.
it's on the 400 lines of code. Every line of code is super compliant.
Okay. But I swear, I'm so glad you responded like that, because he's sitting there smiling away. Because every time he brings it up in every conversation, I blow him off. And I'm like, I don't care about that. You're well aware of it. So that's awesome.
Uh, yeah. Well, I mean, the funny thing about it, uh, uh, we just got the audit for XeNFTs, and the auditing company by accident audited Zen contract the second time, and so we're uh, audited twice,
Nice.
which is cool because
Yes.
even the second time they didn't find any problems, which is great. So you know how Richard keeps saying that Hex has been audited at least twice technically and one time economically.
Yes.
So now we can say Zen has also been audited twice, which is cool.
And Zen is nice enough to let everybody know what's going on, where the project stands at any given point.
Well, I mean, being transparent in everything we do is actually what makes this project standing apart than any other like shady projects. And it's all about the community because it's the community that brings value to your project. It's not the other way around. So being shady just doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. Yeah, I've learned that because you basically sold me on Zen, and you sold me on Zen just by your character. You seem like a genuinely nice person. Like you care about people. You're just a decent person. By the way, what happened to that dog, the puppy? Did we get it?
Where is she? She's
Oh, okay, awesome. You had the puppy.
right there, making noise somewhere, getting into trouble. No, I think we're keeping her for sure.
Yeah, we have a cat that we ended up adopting. Right when COVID hit, we were walking down the street and there was a cat like underneath a car, and it followed us home. And it was like
Mm.
perfect timing. The girls were home from school, so we ended up adopting the cat.
Yeah, this puppy we found. My wife found it on a parking lot, like between the cars.
Really?
It's 6 weeks old, super cute, completely harmless, and just very close to be hit by a car parking. And so she grabbed it and brought it home, and my daughter is like, okay, this one's mine. I'm keeping her.
You don't see stray dogs these days either. Not on the mainland, at least.
In
Cats,
Hawaii, they're everywhere.
really? They're,
So
they're ridiculously expensive here. Dogs, period.
a lot of stray humans too, by the way.
I would love to be there. I'll see it one day.
Yeah, it's one of those amazing places where making crypto projects is really feels good because you're like in this calm environment. There's ocean and the forest, and there's, by the way, the show Lost was filmed right here, like within miles from my house.
Wow.
So I need to rewatch it because I need to like get into my Lost mood again. But anyhow, like working on a project here is really great because you don't have to run anywhere. And we live in a village, and it's like a village inside the village because the whole island is like a village. I mean, there's the town Honolulu, which is pretty nice and pretty large, but then there's this mid island town called Mililani, and that was great too. I mean, it has a movie theater and like Whole Foods, whatnot. But we're on North Shore, and the North Shore It's country. Like I actually drive a Ford pickup truck, F-150, so that I don't stand out from the crowd. So, and it kind of fits within this country feel. And of course, I mean, like the pickup trucks are everywhere because we would drive with our surfboards. So,
You know, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna get there one day.
yeah.
I always heard like stories about Hawaii. Like, is it true that the population, like, the I don't want to call them indigenous, they're American citizens, but the people, the original population, are they welcoming of others? Because I remember there used to be like tension.
Um, it's like this. So most of the income on the island is derived from the tourist industry. So if they're not welcoming, then they don't make any money.
Okay,
So that's the problem.
gotcha.
Would be the problem, and it's not just the people from the mainland coming. We have a lot of international tourists too. A lot of people from Japan come, and from Asia, from Korea too.
Now that makes perfect sense. I've been to Jamaica before, and extremely aggressive when it comes to trying to sell the merchandise, which is the problem. So they don't make money because it's a culture, but it's weird. So that makes perfect sense. So
Yeah,
it does.
none of that like that here. I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, nobody's really attacking you, and people are very friendly actually. So generally in California, if you're waiting for the traffic to pass so that you can make a turn, you can be waiting for 5 minutes until you find the break in the traffic to get in. What happens here is that if people see you waiting, they stop, and your car can actually enter into the main road.
Much more laid back. Yeah.
Yeah, like people are totally chill. I mean, they know that they can't go anywhere fast anyway, and so this sort of not in a hurry type of mentality is makes people nicer.
It's not the tropical air. It can't be because I've been to Florida many a times, and they do not go by those rules.
No, no, yeah, I've been to Florida too.
Oh my gosh, that's one
it's
of the
a
most
it's a little
so
different.
aggressive, so aggressive.
It's a little different. But here, I'm like, why is this car stopping? Oh, they're letting me pass. Okay, okay. Aloha spirit. I mean, that's what they say. Aloha spirit.
Okay, and we see we got any good questions over here for you. 230 wallets. Hmm. Jack, how come 20% are 1 day mints on Binance? Oh yeah, I have heard that before. A lot of short 1 day mints on Binance.
Because people are making money somehow. So they're paying very cheap gas and then they're selling it.
Must
Or maybe something with the Binance marketing where newcomers are coming in and they're like, okay, I don't want to wait. I just want to get mm, see if it works, because it's okay to spend like 10 cents to see if it works. And why would you wait for a long time? If it works for one day, it should work for 10 days. So maybe people are testing.
And I know that you've been talking about. I've heard you mention before in the stream that it's getting a foothold. That Zen is getting a foothold in the Asian markets. I actually ran across a YouTube video, several of them. I mean, that could be pretty powerful, actually. Let's see.
Yeah, it is would be very powerful, because people in Asia, the way that they describe me to me, what's happening there is that people are not investing in their stock market. They're investing into real estate and crypto. So places like Singapore or anywhere else in Southeast Asia actually are much more advanced when it comes to crypto.
Yeah. Hmm. It's all the same. Oh, hold up. Here we go. Zenpay.
Yeah, but super excited about these NFT audit because it came pretty clean. we only had that one little medium issue that's not even an issue. So just a matter of describing exactly what it does, and we're gonna get
So
a.
will it happen this year before?
Oh, I think so. I think it's 23rd of December.
Okay.
Um, Probably next Thursday or Friday.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. I'll be home that day too. That's great.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to do it right on Christmas. We wanted to do it somewhere between the New Year and Christmas, where the expectations for the gas fees were to be the lowest, probably just because people are not doing much. But also, it's in between the holidays.
Oh, I
On a
think it's great. Great timing.
Yeah, if it's on a week where you can really concentrate on it, then you can really make the right decisions there
Yeah, I think it's
without
great timing.
without like being preempted by other craziness that may be happening.
It's kind of like a Christmas gift slash New Year's gift all in one.
Yeah, I think so. And um, it is certainly very interesting what will happen with the burn, because I know for a fact that there are some people definitely getting Zunicorns, and Zunicorn is 10 billion Zen, and 10 billion Zen in today's prices is about $30,000. But 2 weeks ago, it was $80,000, by the way, because it dropped from 5 zeros and 8 to 5 zeros and 3.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I blame that on FTX.
so are you doing any crypto projects yourself? I'm curious.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, 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 not at all. My only crypto project is driving my wife crazy talking about crypto in my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's the project. That's the family project.
Yeah, crypto. I drive her crazy. That's all I want to talk about. It's been going on what 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, yeah. Are you familiar with reflection tokens?
No.
So a reflection token is a token that pays dividends based on the protocol activity. So, like for example, um, well, you know how Hex works, right? So
Yeah.
Hex has this kind of like a reflection, but not really. But the reflection there basically is when um, you unstake with a penalty. The penalty goes to the people who are continuing to stake. So that's called reflection. It's reflecting back some action towards reinforced behavior. And the reinforced behavior would be like, okay, don't unstake, continue to stake. And if you're continuing to stake, then you'll make more, even more than the specified APY of 3.69 or whatever that APY is. So that's the reflection. And so I was actually thinking yesterday that Zen could be used with the reflection uh, protocol, specifically something like this. So we know that Zen is inflationary and becomes disinflationary over time, and it takes about 8 years to mint most of it, and then the mint basically stops. So 8 years is a long time, and there's plenty of people that can get into it, but it still doesn't have the cap on the inflation because staking will always produce 2%. So when you stake Zen, you will be able to make 2% pretty much in perpetuity. But not every person will stake. So it's not going to be 2% against the supply. It's going to be 2% against the total amount staked. And right now we're seeing about 10% of people staking. So it's not actually a lot. It's not like 50%.
Mm.
But what I was thinking is that what if there was a reflection token that derives value from Zen? And specifically, the way that it will work, it would have a hard cap of, let's say, 100 million or some number, maybe 200 million, maybe 250. It doesn't matter. The cap is hard. So there won't be any more tokens produced above the cap. Then it will have the issuance. And let's say that the issuance will be monthly. So every 30 days, every month, the protocol uh, produces the emissions of that token. So specifically, like the first month could be 5 million, the next month could be 4.8 million, then the month after 4.5, and then 4, and then 3, and then it trickles down to 0. And that could be 5 years, for example. So in 5 years, that's it. The whole 100 million of that new token are gone, no longer available. So similar to Bitcoin. But so Zen could be used with the proof of burn to create the competition for this new token. So it's like a game. So if you have Zen, you can deposit Zen into contract, and the contract will then run a calculation on everyone else who deposited with you, and whoever deposits the most gets the bigger share.
Okay.
So, and the cycles are monthly, and I'm just like thinking out loud. It's not like
Mhm.
even just a design doc or anything. So every month, people are competing for the emissions of the new token by burning Zen, and whoever decides to burn the most, they get the most. But then the reflection part happens from the fact that if you decide not to take the new token into your wallet, like if you decided to wait and you stake it, then you will be making more by staking it. In the APY that you'll be generating will be paid by all of those new users that are coming in to burn Zen. So they will be burning Zen, and the small percentage, like 5 or 10% of that burn, will go towards the APY for people who are staking. So that's the reflection part. So what happens here is that Zen gets to benefit from the fact that it's getting burned, and then the people are competing for the issuance that are ever declining every month for the new token. And people know that in 5 years, after 100 million tokens are issued, it will no longer be available. So it becomes kind of like a bond, if you will. So if Zen is cash, then the new token is a bond where you convert your cash into a bond that will pay reflection dividends or APY based on the activity within that protocol. And so Zen gets the benefit because it's burned and the supply will be deflationary. So the value of Zen will rise. And the new token will be issued for the people who are playing the game within this DeFi protocol, creating and deriving this new uh, bond-like instrument that is paying you dividends based on the total user activity.
Wow. You really got my mind going a mile a minute right now.
So yeah, so that could be very interesting.
I do have a friend that, yeah, interesting. I know he's listening right now too, so it's running through his head.
Yeah, and I know like SafeMoon, I think, was one of those first reflection-based tokens, and it's definitely, I think, was a scam because it was not based on first principles of crypto. Like the team had the allocation and all that shebang,
Mhm.
and then they ran away with the money or something. Something happened,
Yeah, I remember
but it
seeing.
doesn't mean that the tech and the idea is bad. It's just the execution is really poor. And so, if we did the right execution, so no admin keys, immutable, on chain, open source, um, audited, and uh, creates utility for Zen, then it kind of becomes similar to these NFTs, except NFTs is addressing the NFT market. But this new thing could be addressing the people's desire to, hodl
Hmm.
the new token by converting their Zen to the new token, and also competing with the Zen's inflation. So if people are saying, oh, Zen's so hyperinflationary and it has no value and like all that, FUD. But what if the hyperinflation was plugged into the competition between the people who are using this new contract to derive another token that actually has the hard cap and has limited inflation? And that could make it very interesting First, it will give utility to Zen, then it will burn Zen, and will cause Zen to rise in value. And so the yin and yang of forces of the creation and the burn will always battle each other. But the most interesting games that you play are not the ones that you're winning every time. It has to be a situation where you have to do work, whether it's thinking or the right action or the right strategy, that sort of thing. So it has to be challenging enough to keep people playing, and it has to give enough rewards to make it worthwhile. And so Zen contract by itself was very easy to make, and it's easy to talk about it because it's just so pure. 400 lines of code, does exactly what it does, easy to get. But then the complexity, the true design of the ecosystem comes much later. So Zen becomes a building block for the new protocols that may come into being. And so we hope that we're not the ones going to be developing it, but certainly we want to lead by example and to
Mhm.
show what's possible. And of course, open source everything.
It's gonna be an exciting year coming up. with
Super
that.
exciting. Yeah. I mean, and I'm so excited having this giant community now. I think very close to 1 million people got engaged with Zen so far in just 2.5 months, I would say. It's pretty
Well,
great.
I would say a lot of that's due to you, sir. You definitely you're a founder that people are willing to follow. I'll put it like that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I never really planned to be a founder, or that's like really not my thing. I just wanted to have a cool project that
Yeah.
can get people into crypto. So, but I would say that the bar is really low. I mean, or being set low. I mean, you just have to be nice, right?
Yeah.
Or you have to be transparent.
Well, people aren't nice naturally. I'm a nice guy, but I also accepted the fact that nice guys tend to come in last.
I don't believe it.
No,
I
you
think
don't
no,
really?
I wholeheartedly do not believe it. I think every person uh, is a nice person,
Yeah.
but the environment when you put wrong people together, sometimes the chemical reaction between
That's
those two people
hmm
is causing them to show their worst sides.
you're 100% correct.
And I have seen it so many times. Like I had a friend who was like the nicest guy, epically nicest guy with me. And then he's in his other crowd and he behaves like an asshole because he is within the, I guess, he's vibing with the team, and the team just happens to be very, very abrasive. And everyone thinks that if they're not vibing together and they're not being assholes together, then they're weak.
Hmm.
And that sort of environment amplifies the negativity. But I think truly, given the right setup, every human actually uh,
Has
was
good in them. Yeah.
was built to be nice. I mean, not even doesn't even have the good in them. It's by design, the evolutionary design, and I can tell that for sure because people studied apes. In the alpha males, gorillas, the ones who survive the most and have the most babies are the ones who are strong, confident, protectors of the tribe, but also very nice to not only to females but to males too. And they live longest and they get to procreate longest. But the other alpha males who are not nice, they just want to grab all the females and eat all the food. As soon as they show weakness, the runner-up lieutenants in their tribe tear them apart. So they don't even end up living longer. They just have this day in the sun, so to speak, but they're waiting to be removed by the other participants as fast as possible, as soon as they show weakness. But the nicest guys end up living the longest. And therefore, the gene selection for the groups that are actually compassionate and empathetic towards the other chimps or the other gorillas end up being selected for longevity. So their genes just simply propagate more.
Okay.
And so I think that happens with all animals. Like even wolves, they hunt in packs, and like the alpha wolf, all of the other friends that he has, they when they make the kill, they have them have the liver. But a lot of times, what the alpha wolf does, he lets the scraps be left for his compatriots. And so I think it is natural for the animals and humans to actually strive to be better with each other too.
Mm.
Evolutionary compassion, I think, is genetically pre-selected.
Way over my head.
But it's logical, right? It makes sense.
Very logical. I'm actually sitting here learning.
It makes sense why assholes don't get to live long,
You told me a lot just now, actually.
or dictators.
Mm.
Most of the dictators in the country, in whatever the country they're dictating in, often meet violent ends. I mean, I would say like 99% of the time.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah. So.
Very interesting. It's kind of funny though, because like right now, that's what had attracted me to Richard Hart originally, and Charles Hoskinson. Honestly, actually Charles Hoskinson first, because they're really super intelligent guys, they're bright guys, and they want to share their knowledge and with others, and it's a good thing. It's a very powerful thing. But then Richard Hart started doing a whole new thing, but I know where his heart lies. But I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of the marketing thing. But
Yeah, I think I could probably vibe with the old Richard too.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we
he
could.
really was all about teaching and trying to help people make the right decisions in
Yeah,
life.
I think what happened is that he just got frustrated somehow, and
Mm.
he changed his strategy, thinking that perhaps the outrage marketing is the way.
One of the things I said at the beginning, I said like fake it till you make it. And but sometimes if you put on a persona or portray an image, it can become you if you're not careful. And I wonder, did he playing this role, it actually became him to a degree.
Well, certainly when you get a lot of reinforcement from the your community or your tribe, then you're like, okay, more of this, more of the same, more,
Yeah. Don't go
more.
down that road. Just stay a nice guy. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen to me. Well, I mean, I think part of the reason is I feel a lot of affinity with the community because I mint with you guys.
Hmm.
Like I'm no different than yourself. You're minting, I'm minting. I am subject to the same gas fluctuations, and everything's pretty much the same. So the opportunity that I have is very similar to the rest of the community, and so it doesn't make any sense for me to act like I want to pump anything or to say we're better because or I am better because or whatever. Just it's just much better to be amplifying already better things that we had than 20 years ago. So 20 years ago we didn't have blockchain. Now we do. So why not amplify what's good out there? And I would say like Zen is the expression of blockchain's functionality. It's an application that's built on top of it, and there's nothing really new with Zen. It's just basically Bitcoin, just with some social engagement features in addition to it.
So like your original vision was for Zen to become a crypto of the masses that's free and follow more or less follow how Bitcoin you could mine it for free for next to nothing initially. So, what is the plan to really push it out to the masses? In other words, like people go to church every Sunday, but they're preaching to themselves, kind of. But how
Yeah.
do you plan to get Zen out to the world that doesn't know anything about crypto, but you want them to learn with Zen? Is it are you trying to focus like word of mouth basically? Like,
Well, there's Twitter.
but I love Twitter. I'm addicted. Yeah.
um, but part of the strategy was to launch on 10 different chains, which we did, which helps with marketing because every chain, well, first of all, they benefit because like you yourself mentioned, you didn't know much about OKX, but now you can go and explore.
Yes.
And you can play with it. And you can play with anything else out there that's listed. And so definitely there's benefit to the chains. And those chains are very thankful. They're working with us to create more marketing. So using their marketing potential to push them around their communities too. And so that's definitely has been a good strategy rather than creating your own chain or consolidating onto one. And the NFT strategy is also similar and gives us better chance at marketing because if you think about it, there is a layer of crypto community population that don't even buy ERC20 tokens. They don't care about those. They just buy NFTs and trade NFTs and collect them.
Yeah.
And so that angle of marketing is also very important for our visibility. So we want to be on every liquid market in every form possible. So that makes us pretty strong. And of course, I mean, we see now, I mean, like so far, looking at the total gas that we have burned on Ethereum, we're number one. And you can see it on Ultrasound Money. Have you been to Ultrasound Money?
I want to say yes, but I don't want to lie.
Well, let's look at it real quick because I think the viewers would love to see this.
Ultrasound mining.
Ultrasound.money, like money like currency. Ultrasound.money. Not mining, not mining, money.
Oh, I'm sorry, but oh man, typing around this mic.
Money. And also maximize your screen so that we can see it better. And I'll make my screen bigger too. There we go. Okay.
Here we
All
go.
right. All right. So first of all, take the mouse and look at the Ethereum supply chart. Don't scroll yet. So go to the top where see the Ethereum supply. It's a blue chart
right here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go to the top. Move your mouse to the top. The top would be the blue line that looks like a mountain on the left side.
Okay. The peak right there. Gotcha.
Okay. Check out the date. That's when we launched. So we launched on October 8th, actually, on Saturday. That's when we launched. And when we launched, the Ethereum supply turned deflationary because the gas burn that Zen introduced made Ethereum more scarce. So that drop that you see, that's Zen burning Ethereum. So that's why Ethereum is actually staying at $1,200 and it's not falling together with Bitcoin. Now that second drop, that's FTX. So right there is FTX.
Yeah.
So FTX also burned it because people freaked out and started selling everything. But I wanted to show you something else too. So if you scroll down just a little bit, a little more. Yeah, just keep going. Okay, burn. Okay, there we go. All right. So stop right here. So on the right-hand side where it says OpenSea, so that's 1 day. Time frame is 1 day. That's how much OpenSea is burning right now. So they burned 123 ETH.
Wow.
But CoinTools, that's Zen Minter, has burned almost 100 ETH. And if you look a little bit lower, if you just scroll that whole window, you see how it says Zen Crypto right there? 15 and 15. So that's, let's say, 31. And then if you scroll back up, so 31 all the way up. 31 plus 98. So 31 plus 98 is 130 ETH. So we are number one again for the last 24 hours because 123 ETH for OpenSea is less than all of those protocols combined. So the batch minter, the one with the blue B, green B, right
Hmm.
there, that's Zen's batch minting application that somebody else designed. So anybody who is minting Zen, they're using that too, and that's burning gas.
Do you trust that coin tool? I know there was a little bit of issues with people.
So the CoinTools contract on chain is solid. There's nothing wrong with it. But the web app could be hacked at any moment. And I mean, it's just within the realm of possibility. I mean, Zen.network could also be hacked. So the danger is that if somebody hacks the website, they can replace the contract name, and then you will send your money somewhere else and you wouldn't even know. But you could know it if you labeled the contract address with the name that you recognize. So then you can check.
Okay.
But
Somebody just did a video on that. They released it today, actually.
yeah, wasn't it Crypto Kindness?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So he talks about that, which is very important. So one other thing I wanted to show you. So click on 1 day, like 1D right there. So click until all the way on top right, top right. That's left. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Right
I
here.
keep trying to make it go reverse for you. All right, here we go. All
Okay.
right.
Click once.
Yep.
7 days. Click to 30 days.
There it
Okay.
is.
That's it, 30 days. All right. So look at the coin tool now. 3,000 ETH. You see it, right?
Oh yeah.
Now look at the Zen Crypto 700, right?
Here.
Yep. And then scroll a little bit more. Let's find another. Okay, there we go. That's another 500. So that's 1,200 ETH, and then go all the way up. 1,200 ETH plus 3,000 ETH. We're gonna get about 4,200 ETH. And if you compare it with the top, we're number one gas burner on the burn leaderboard for a whole month, because the value would be way higher than for example the ETH transfer. So ETH transfers takes the lead as its own unit, but there's 3 elements for Zen that's burning gas, and if you add them all together, we're number one application on Ethereum when it comes to gas burn for the last 30 days.
Yeah, I forgot. Trayvon James used to bring this up often initially, and I forgot all about it. And wow, that alone just kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things. Actually,
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. So a lot of people don't look at this page, but this page is very telling when it comes to uh, application activity. I would say probably the most important page for the application activity,
and we're at the
because
bottom of a bear market. Hopefully, the bottom, near the bottom.
right, hopefully. And so this sort of gas activity being at the top is awesome, because it tells you that people are willing to burn gas, and they're okay with it because they believe in the project. So, and that's what obviously makes me and my team so excited.
All right, got a quick message here for you. Jack, for myself, on behalf of my family, whom I have helped learn about crypto, and our Zen mentors, thank you. I personally intend to give back in some way. Yin Yang. Law rep, 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 oh my gosh.
Reciprocity. Reciprocity.
Yeah, sorry.
Reciprocity.
It's a fancy word. Thanks, Mac.
Yeah, thanks, Mac. Definitely appreciate the kind words, and yeah, being yang,
Yeah.
creation and destruction.
Yes. Now that yin and the yang, that's the black swirl with the white swirl on the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, the black and white, 2 dots.
Yeah.
One is white, one is black.
Cool.
Yeah, I think everything needs balance, and I think with Zen, this sort of balance could be found. Also, almost in a spiritual kind of way, where you know that the calmer you are, the better strategy you're going to have in terms of just waiting longer, and you don't have to ape in because there's no pressure to acquire it. You just make it for yourself. It's just you and blockchain.
Oh, it's
Nobody.
definitely user friendly. Just gotta make that leap, that first leap.
Yeah, you're not forced to buy it from anyone. Like nobody's forcing you. It's just you and the contract, and the contract is open source. It's been verified twice. Other people looked at it, and it just makes you feel good that you're doing something interesting. And also, I think what makes me really excited is what we're gonna do next, the roadmap. So the future is bright.
So roadmap will be DeFi. Is there? What do you have after DeFi? Like just like you talked about a reflection token. Or is there anything else? Maybe.
I would say there's definitely a lot of ideas that are swirling in my mind. But I think if we're successful with the several ideas right after Zen, it will give people confidence to develop using Zen. And I just want to spend my time promoting other developers
Mm,
because rather than scaling your own brain, you can scale the whole world to help you build.
I guess that's where I kind of get confused because I'm used to the concept with like layer one, layer two blockchains and building on top of that. But to build on top of a token, I guess I probably need to broaden my perspective. I guess.
Well, it's like this. So Zen protocol has the burn function, which means it can disappear. You can ask the contract to burn a user's Zen. But if you give the users the reasons to do it, like for example a new token or a new NFT or something else, then the users actually will be willing to do it, and the Zen will disappear. Now, the other side of the coin is that imagine Zen being held by 200 million people, which is a lot, and you're the new developer in crypto. You're developing something new and interesting and cool, and then you can say, "Hey, Zen community, I have this cool idea. Burn your Zen for this." Now your addressable market is 200 million people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is how you can build on top of Zen. And when I say build on top, I mean build something good, engage the community, and and return value back to the community by having Zen to be burned. Because anytime the large percentage of coins is burned, those coins become more scarce, and the deflationary force drives the value higher. So that's great for investors and long-term holders and long-term minters too. Like like if you're minting for 400 days, and within the next 400 days, the community gets larger, there's more developers, we're building more interesting things, and the value actually comes up, then your future mints are now valued more. So that's how you build on top of the Zen protocol. But you're really just engaging community, you're engaging on-chain code, the software that does something useful.
Okay. And DeFi, I think DeFi would be initially DeFi would be the easiest initially.
Yeah. So anybody who has cool DeFi ideas, you guys are welcome to come
Because
up with new amazing things.
I've been aware of the staking. I've been waiting to a certain point to make that leap. So yeah, I'm like one of the many people that's hodling. I should be staking. It's 20%.
Well, staking is similar to hodling because you're staking for time, right? So
Yeah,
it's like you're delegating your hodl to the contract.
yeah. Now staking's better than hodling because you're actually, I guess, investing yours in because then you'll get 20.
Yeah. I mean, the Zen that I have actually staked.
Yeah, I need to re change my approach. Put it like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's so Zen burn for ZenFT is similar to I would say to a conversion. You're converting one unit to the other, so you're converting your Zen to something else that you're yourself minting, and that's really cool because usually the NFT founders they make a bunch of NFTs for themselves first, and then they sell them,
Mm-hmm.
and they raise millions, and then whatever else goes, right? But in this particular case, there's no Zen units or Zen tokens. They're NFTs in existence, and you make your own. You just
I'm
have to
not the
follow the rules.
I'm not the biggest fan of NFTs, but I do see the value and what they did during the previous market. I can only imagine.
By the way, did you know that with the collector NFT you can do a bulk mint in the future, and then you can sell it the next day?
No, I did not know that.
Well, yeah. So let's say that you're doing 100 wallets, which you can, 100 VMUs, and then you specify for 100 days. So to get your Zen, you have to wait for 100 days.
Hmm.
However, if your friend comes over and says, "Hey, I missed the mint window. Can you sell me one of your NFTs that will guarantee the future mint to occur?" Then you can say, "Yeah, sure. I'll sell it to you for my future mint." So NFT actually becomes like a wallet that's fully portable that you can transfer between humans
That's a
or
whole
you
different market. Wow,
or users. So that's a very functional aspect of an NFT.
that's a very powerful function. Yes, it is.
Certainly is, because think about it. You are trading your future ownership of Zen. It's like getting a title for a house that's being built, but it's not built yet.
Hmm.
And you're buying the lot and the crew and the blueprints, and then in 2 years you're gonna have a new house.
I like it. I do
So
like that actually. I do like it. I actually changed because initially I had one of the thousands of people sending you asking questions on Twitter, and I did ask. No, you were in a live stream, and I was asking about the value of these NFTs because I said I didn't really want to purchase one, but I've kind of changed my approach. I think I'm gonna have to go in with NFTs. It's a lot of things in life. So kind of like you said, people have to take that leap. Sometimes you got to take that leap of faith in a way.
well, thankfully in this particular case, there's plenty of time not to miss out on anything. Like you can really just don't worry about burn it all
Hmm.
if you're not a collector. You can just use the last category of NFTs just to load it with the future mint, and then see if people buy it on OpenSea.
Which has to catch though, because with I can see the NFTs for Zen becoming valuable. It's potential. There's definitely potential.
You're catching a little bit of FOMO, aren't you?
Just a little bit.
Just tiny bit, tiny bit.
Um, More like faith. I put it like that, like trust, faith, trust. I'm thinking because just honestly, just looking at the ultrasound money, if you understand, if people understand what's happening, that is huge. Because basically, nothing would be happening right now in Ethereum. Well, a lot would not be happening if it wasn't for Zen. The price would be down drastically,
Yes.
and
So
that is big.
it's pretty big. It's like
Big.
canary in a canary in a coal mine. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's
So
huge.
yeah.
And the players, the real players out there, the big players, they see it. They're not missing it. I'm
Oh yeah.
positive they're
I
not
mean,
missing
that chart you showed in the beginning on the very top, no one can miss that chart. No one.
it. This one right here.
You think Vitalik is missing this chart? For sure not. He's missing it because that whole thing with Ethereum burning gas and proof of stake was his baby. And Zen proved it to be viable. So of course he knows about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go much more aggressive.
Yeah, just don't do anything crazy. Just
No, 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 no,
if
no. I'm
you
not foolish. No,
if
actually,
you
I already did one crazy thing though in the bear market, and it wasn't ridiculous. It was stupid. Basically, I took 15 grand, put it on a credit card. I doubled it, but I left it on it and I wrote it all the way up. It wrote it all the way down. Now I've paid it off since then. But yeah, I've learned I don't no.
It was a
Only
good
sell what
lesson.
I can afford to lose.
Yeah, so I would say that minting is definitely viable on the weekends. I've been minting every weekend for the max term. And I did mint some 30-day terms just so that I can get some Zen for these NFTs, because I want this NFT for myself too.
To be 100% honest, most lately, I mean, the fees have been fair. I haven't even had to wait till the weekends. It's just not prime time, basically. But the prices really haven't been that bad.
Yeah, no, they haven't. So this whole narrative about Zen just destroying the world by pushing gas prices to unimaginable levels, that's a ridiculous argument.
No, I think the argument was more so based on when somebody felt threatened. I'll just leave it at that. Somebody saw something, they felt threatened, and I disagree with that approach because it's one thing if you're going to say something negative about a thing or a person for the but for the right reasons. But if you're doing it just for personal gain, I disagree with that. So, but I'd rather not say names. It's just it's what it is. But it was wrong. It was very
They all know who they are, right?
wrong. Yeah, I would like to merge. I was actually going to wear a T-shirt for that today, a Hex T-shirt,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
just to make a statement.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of people from the Hex community stream with me, and we're all friends. I mean, I just streamed for 2.5 hours with KG, and we talked about life and death and what it means to be human and where we're going, like all those things.
Yeah,
And I think Access Alive as well, and Corey too. I mean, all of those guys are from the Hex community, and we had a great conversation.
yeah, but
So
it's just like cut right. The community's literally cut right down the middle. I believe I saw somebody saying you were a vampire or something. I was like, what is this? This is just weird.
yeah, I think a vampire is a tribute to the fact that SushiSwap at some point copied Uniswap, so it was the vampire attack. But and they were presenting better terms for um, for the Uniswap users to this. But I think it actually forced Uniswap to evolve.
But that would that's another like dumb, so stupid though to me because Paul's chain is a copy of Ethereum, so everything builds on top. So I don't know. It's just foolishness.
I think um, innovation is generally making things that exist better, uh, like a better fork, a better spoon, a better car, uh, better camera,
Yeah,
right? Um, but it is not true that, for example, Zen is a copy of Hex. There's no code that's been borrowed from Hex. And if anybody says, "Hey, you copied staking," well, staking is actually a universal function on all
yeah,
crypto. So it isn't a copy. Um, I mean, the philosophy could actually be similar because it amplifies the gains, so to speak, when you hold longer. But it's true for every crypto project. So
yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, if you just got done streaming for 2 hours, I done tied you down for an hour and almost 40 minutes. I don't want to tie you
yeah,
down too much longer.
I'm glad to be here. I think we discussed
Uh,
interesting topics, and we talked about NFTs and how they're functional, and the gas burn effect on Ethereum. All of those things are very, very useful to talk about.
yeah, I'm just very appreciative that you took time to come on my channel. I was going to say nobody, but I'm not a nobody. Just I'm a somebody trying to become a nobody trying to become a somebody. Whatever. Trying to feed in what you were saying earlier.
You're somebody who is discovering yourself
There you
in
go.
the process. We're all on the path of self-discovery
Yeah.
and becoming better humans.
So deep.
It's Zen.
Yeah. Yeah. There it goes. That was weird. Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well,
Hmm.
should we call it a day?
Yeah, we should call it a day. I'm gonna thank everybody for joining us, and definitely want to thank what was his name? Mac. Can you say that properly? Mac Mean. Uh, is that main? Anyway, I want to thank you for the $10. Actually, it was 20. So I just want to thank you. I'm gonna mint some Zen with that. I think I could do 4 wallets, maybe 5, if I time it right.
Yep,
And
definitely.
yeah, if the guys that are left, please subscribe. I do a lot of technical analysis on Zen. Not supposed to, but I enjoy it. We watched it ride down, and pretty soon, I think it's going to be a different story, though. I think this
Hey, when you find the floor for Zen, DM me because I
the
want to be
floor
the
right
first one to
now.
know.
There it is, right there.
Oh, you found it.
Oh, that's what I do every day. Zen's floor is right here. I always get the zeros wrong. I should wear my glasses. I think it's
It's
got
five. It's five
50.
zeros.
Yeah, five
Yeah.
zero zero. So and that was established on. There you go. There's a date.
Cool.
Uh,
Cool. Cool.
December 19th.
So we're up 50% of the floor. Not bad.
Hmm. And yeah, so that's what I do for Zen. I do every day. I come here. I try to do a little bit of technical analysis on it
That's
and
cool.
see what happens. And also make sure I make it known to everybody that you said not to do that and to let the price capitulate and find its bottom eventually. But I couldn't.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's gonna be the fight between the burn and creation. So very interesting. Very interesting to see what happens.
Okay. All right, sir. Well, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm very appreciative, very thankful.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
for the guys out there that haven't been on my channel before, please subscribe
Yeah. Subscribe. He's the man.
and hit the like button.
Retro Crypto.
And then go to his channel, which is more important than mine, and subscribe to his. I was on one of your chats a while back saying, "Hey, you just tell these people to subscribe."
Yeah, I mean, my YouTube channel is like 2 months old, so I still don't know what I'm doing.
You're doing way better than me.
Thanks. All
All
right,
right,
all right. Good seeing you. Very good to meet you.
all right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, see you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Mm.